game played, I it goes back to early 90s, even 80s, I think. I'm from 85, but I think I've been playing since 4 or 5 years old. I actually remember very well the first time I seen a video game, so I'm not sure if the question was about creating a game or playing a game. I think the first game it was I think it's called Road Rush. I think on the NES. I need to Google it. If I think it's a Road Rush. You're a big fan of that game, but no, that's my mistake. It's not the one I meant. I know Road Rash, but oh, okay, I think it's Off Road. Maybe that's the first video game I ever seen. I'm googling now because I don't remember. Yes, I think it was Off Road, probably not Road Rash. I know the game you mean. I know Road Rash, but yes, mainly was from my cousins when they were very young. They had this Nintendo, and I think the first time I seen a video game, it was from them. So the Nintendo or some arcades. I remember it was like, but also I also have some reminiscence of games on how was it called? Not the Commodore. It was the one with the tapes. They used the audio tapes. I think it was maybe Atari. Yeah, my gaming memories go very way back from the old arcades to the Nintendo. Mainly, my heart is on the Nintendo, the 8-bit Nintendo, and that shows pretty much in my project as well. I think that's my first gaming memories were on the Nintendo. So Super Mario, so many nights and so many memories with family, Zelda, Teenage Mutant. I could go on for quite a bit. I can go on, but I got a great list of classic Nintendo games that I love, and I take a lot of inspiration, and I still play on some emulators every now and then. I don't own. I mean, I think I have it somewhere. My old Nintendo is still somewhere. I don't. no- I have a few Game Boys around, but yeah, the Nintendo and Amiga. Yeah, it's a classic, man. I'm all about PC as well. Nowadays, I don't really think about buying consoles anymore. Oof, good question. I think, well, my history was I had the NES, the Super NES, Amiga, and the PlayStation 1 and 2. Then I kind of stopped. But I think those were all great consoles. The Amiga, for me, the Commodore Amiga is a special thing. There were, I think that's where the best creators and artists were to be found. For real, man. No, what do you mean? It's who who could have anything negative to say about the Commodore Amiga, man? What do you mean? This is unheard for me. I don't know. Usually, I would say I'm pretty well informed. I mean, I love documentaries about gaming history across the ages. That's one of the things I love most to watch. I think I watched them all, but I don't know. I must miss this information because I watched quite a few documentaries about the history of Amiga, but to be honest, I never heard anyone saying anything bad about the Amiga. The Amiga was a revolutionary console to me and pretty much well received. To me, this is funny. I never heard anyone say any. It was a great machine. It was quite ahead of its time, to be honest, and great power as the great technology, and also it had some amazing games. I love the music, the sound aspect of the Amiga. It was amazing to me. Really, for me, this is weird because I don't know, maybe about Commodore. Yeah, there might be some controversies about Commodore, about some commercial moves they made, the company maybe, but the Amiga, no, I think it was a fucking great machine, and it has some great games, great art, great. The art was mind blowing. The music was incredible on the Amiga, and yeah, some very cool games. My favorite there was Monkey Island. That's another great inspiration for me. Maybe mainly I love the humor of that series, and that's the jokes. They were great, a great sense of humor, and that's something I take a lot of inspiration from, and I'm not sure if I'm succeeding, but I'm trying to bring a little of that humor and those jokes references to into my project as well. Big fan of Monkey Island, the original Monkey Island, and I played it on Amiga. It was a nice blend of computer and gaming console. It was probably too early, but I know it can be back then. I had no clue. I was just messing around, but it was supposedly a workstation. I back then again I liked how it looked like a OS system. Really had no clue on what to do. I just messed around and broke stuff, but yes, there was potential, and I know people have been doing cool stuff now with YouTube and stuff. You can go backwards and discover new things about old technology that back then you had no idea, and that's all very interesting to me. I'm very passionate about the history of those old gaming system. It's really interesting to me. But yeah, Amiga was great, man. Yeah, the mods, man. The mods, yeah. Yeah, it's right. There aren't anymore. I mean, back then it's all we had, so people put more effort. I guess now it's very niche, and honestly, who plays mods anymore? But like really, a couple days ago, I was looking for one that I remember very fondly. It was I don't know if it was about vampires, but I remember it had a great combat and great leveling system. I was looking for a lot of times I try look for some games that are on some spot of my memory that I really struggle trying to find. I was looking for this particular one, and I've been thinking it would be great to have some mod on wax or with NFTs. That would be cool. And I was starting. It, it would be very interesting, I have a bazillion ideas on potential games. So yeah, because this is my first actual game project that really lifted off, and also because of the blockchain technology, of course, and the all the novelty around it. But I've been dreaming and thinking and sketching games for I think all my life since I was in primary school. Sitting on the desk, I was always drawing potential games. I've been trying in the years to make a few hobby games. I don't know if you remember ZZT. It was a kind of create your game engine, very old and very basic. I used to make games for my schoolmates back then with that. Also, RPG Maker. I was engaged in the community quite a few years ago, doing very very basic elementary stuff because I never been. I'm not a coder. I'm kind of good with computers. I spend a lot of time with computers, but I'm not a programmer. I'm not a super tech expert. So those kind of user friendly programs, softwares for I think of myself more like a creative person, a moderately creative person. So yes, always dreaming of making games, always thought of game making. So yes, I do have quite a lot of ideas for games. I just can't help it. I That's how my mind works, And so yeah, potentially I could think of quite a lot of game ideas, game concepts. Yes, I think I'm good with the concepts mainly, and luckily I I found I was lucky to find a good team that believes in this vision, and now is helping me to to make my ideas into reality. So I'm living the dream, really living the dream because this 100%. Well, I got lucky, to be honest. It just happened. I was mainly okay. So I started this game, this collection. You can't hear Rick. So I've been talking alone all the time. Are you sure? Maybe Rick, because he isn't talking right now.
Mic check 1 2. Can you hear
Oh,
me?
that's funny. Oh,
Ay,
you
ay,
can
ay, ay,
swear.
ay,
No one
son of
hears
a
you. So it's
motherless
alright.
goat. No, now they can hear me, I think.
Okay.
Uh,
Wait, we're just doing it live, so I think you
Son of
told
a
your
bit.
own.
We're
Okay,
doing
thank
it
you. I
live.
appreciate. Thank you so
Fuck
much.
it. We're doing it
So
live.
the question was
Alrighty.
how I found my team, and it was,
Yes, thank you
yes, it
so
was
much.
a weird journey. I was very lucky, and it's like planets aligned, you know. Basically, I started this collection Pixtalgia with. I mean, the idea was a game from day one, but I wasn't sure on how to do it. I was starting to code it myself, but my skills are super limited, so I wouldn't have been able to do something connected to the chain or something much complicated. I was just doing a super basic platformer, and I wasn't even sure I could make a game out of it. So I started learning pixel art, and I am an absolute noob at it. I can't even draw that much. I've always been sketching little characters, but I'm not an artist. I'm not a visual artist, so I just teach myself to do pixel art, simple pixel art in a very tiny size in the style of Nintendo mainly. That's where I get inspiration from. Also, first of all, because I love it and I really love the aesthetics of the 8-bit games. That's that's something that I mean must be a nostalgia feel, but I think it's awesome. It's perfect for gaming. I can't explain. I just love it. So
Now, do
it
you
was also,
do all of the art for Pistolgia? Is that you?
yeah. I do it all. I don't think it's great. I mean, some things I like. I like it. I mean, I do like it, but I know I'm not a professional. I'm not the best pixel artist. We have so much more better and professional pixel artists on Wax as well. And I don't rule out asking for some help at some point. For now, I do it myself for a couple reasons, which are budget reasons, but also because I love it, and I wouldn't. I mean, I will look later on for someone to help me fix my art, but I think I will always draw the art for Pixtalgia, and I would like for some professional to fix it on a very on a surface level. You know, I would like to have someone and say, okay, this is my sprite sheets. Can you correct the color issues? Can you make a more coherent palette? Can you fix some animation mistakes, stuff like that? Or
Yeah, so
I,
you're
I,
still in the driver's seat. You just got somebody cleaning up the edges.
yeah, exactly. Because I think at this point, I kinda, I'm starting to like the style, and I think it's pretty. This the game as its style is recognizable by now. It's not the best art in the world, but I think it has some personality. So I wouldn't want to have someone do it for me. And I mean, it would be nice to have better graphics and to have it look more professional, but I kind of would miss the charm of the simple childish style, you know. I think this is the style of the game at this point, the style that people like, the stuff I like. So I think it will be more like, yes, fixing the edges, color stuff, correcting the palettes, and make some, because I'm not a visual artist. I would like someone that has actually studied visual arts to help me and to say, no, this is wrong. This is there are rules about the eye, the colors, and stuff that professional know, and I just go by feelings. So I could use some help, but yeah, I like to draw, and I think I start to get a little better. So I would also like to move on. But yeah, I've been changing subject. So the we were talking about how I found the team. So I just posted a few images in some communities about I think it was a Monkey Island group actually where I met Fabio, the main developer, and I posted a vignette, an animation of some characters. He liked it and he asked me if it was a game, and I just replied, "No, this is not a game, but I would like it to be a game." And that's how it started. It was free at the time, so I teached him about the NFTs. He had some crypto, but he wasn't really into NFT. My main developer, and he learned very quickly, and that's how I found my developer. Internet,
That's a stroke of
for
luck
online
right there.
forums. Yeah, I was incredibly lucky, man, because it's not easy to find free developers, good professional. It was free at the moment, and yes, I if I hadn't met Fabio online, this wouldn't have possible. I wouldn't be making a game now. And then I have a Web3 developer that I knew from when my brother used to do Twitch. That's my brother who told me about Bitcoin, about Binance, and he introduced me into crypto mainly. I did most of the research myself, but he's more an economy and macroeconomy and finance expert, and he's very passionate about that. While I don't really care about the trading part, about the finance part, banking, and I care more about art and games. So that's not really my passion, but yeah, my brother started me to it. He used to stream to do Twitch about cryptocurrency, and he had a very small but passionate community. And Simone, which is the Web3 dev, he was a part of that community.
Shout out to
And
those
I
watching on Twitch because I think that honestly kind of summarizes the entire Twitch community as well. Small but passionate. Like,
Yeah,
for real.
like us on Wax as well.
Yeah, I mean, Hive, Wax, Twitch, like they're all various levels of small, but all very passionate communities, and it's great to be part of all of them. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. I just wanted to.
No, 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 it's fine, man. I mean, I can talk a lot, so it's fine if you interrupt me because I can go on monologues otherwise. And yeah, and the other person, which is part of the team, even if he's not actually building the game, it's Mr. Aquascape Art, which is now inside I think he's watching, and it's thanks to him that now we have Rick's audio. So big shout out to Aquascape Art, he's a fellow Wax creator. And also him, I've
Oh,
met him into some communities about Italian crypto, and I was looking for someone to teach about the Wax blockchain. It was, I think it was the the bull run, so it was very exciting, and it was a big opportunity for gain. So I was looking for someone to bring in, also to help me. And so yes, he's quite an important part of the team, even if he's not a developer, he's not actively building the game. Is a very important member of the team. Is a great help. He helps us testing, he helps us with ideas, staying in touch and stay updated with the community. So yeah, he's totally one key member of the team. And that's it. That's how I found, mainly online. I found the team members online, but it was very luck. I think I found the right people, and it was, yes, planet alignings totally. It was
I,
very lucky.
I
Very
think
very
I
very good people,
I think I
and the
actually
trust
have
is big.
a pretty good group of people to call on for most of this. What I really need is a dev. I need to find
Don't we all?
a dev, and that's kind of a big one, kind of an important one. I don't really have. I mean, I've messed around a bit with coding in a couple of different languages, like back in high school and whatnot.
That's
And
that's not easy because good devs are either busy with their project or
yep,
busy with someone else's project, or I mean, you need people with at least 10, if not more, years of experience, and the good ones are working. The it's hard to
exactly,
find a good
exactly.
available dev, and if not, they are not cheap. They don't come cheap. You If you don't know them, if you get no connection. I was lucky to have these people aboard which fell in love with the project and are strongly believing in the project. So we are working for shares. I don't pay them because otherwise it would be unfeasible for me.
Yep.
I we split the earnings from the project, which is not that much, but at least we are hoping for for the future to even make a living out of this. I mean, it's probably going to be very hard and might not be able to focus full time on the game, but we're trying. So yes, finding a dev is not easy, man. You can look on Fiverr, but they don't really come cheap.
Yeah, no, yeah, that's exactly it. Is finding a good dev with time on their hands. You might as well be looking for a needle in a haystack while a unicorn is delivering a knockout haymaker to Nessie with Sasquatch refereeing, all falling down into that haystack while there's somebody's getting roundhouse kicked by Chuck Norris. Like, it's just not gonna happen.
Yeah, I
So
was incredibly lucky. I was incredibly lucky that Fabio liked my artwork and he saw potential. He saw the world I was envisioning mainly from that single vignette. That was a reference to Monkey Island. I guess it was a joke about Monkey Island. It was saying like I don't know if you know all the quotes from Monkey Island by heart. I do.
I do not.
I'm a big
I've
nerd.
never even played it.
Oh, I mean, it's kind of good now as well. The thing is, it will be different playing that game now because back then there were no online guides, and
Oh
it's
yeah, yeah. That always makes
a
a
puzzle
huge difference.
solving game. Yeah, I mean, I bet you would not spend the same amount of time on going back and forward and trying everything just as I did while I was a kid. Of course, you will go looking online for solution as soon as you are stuck because you don't have the same amount of spare time
Right?
I had when I was 10.
Yeah. Nowadays we play
So
things to beat them, not to play through and find every little thing out about them.
the temptation is too strong and the time is limited and the opportunities. I mean, I had like 10 games and Monkey Island was one of them. And to solve mysteries, you had to ask your friends if they had any clues. It was very different. So I spent countless hours trying everything. And when you moved forward from a point when you were stuck since 1 month, maybe it felt really great. I mean, it's still a great game now. It's funny and there's a lot of sense of humor. The graphics are great, the music are great, the atmosphere is great, but it wouldn't not be the same. Playing it in the 90s was another kind of experience that I don't believe it can be experienced again today. It would be very different, but it's still a great game, and I do recommend it.
Yeah, it's
Or
kind.
if at least you can watch a gameplay, or it's still a great game. It's a great classic. I recommend it every day.
All right. So, what's your favorite game of all time? Like if you got to pick one right now, hands down, go.
Oh, that's incredibly hard
And
question.
and
I
and,
mean,
and you can't pick yours.
I don't think it's a too hard question. I can't answer with a single game without making some clarification or if I had to pick only one single game, the one I would like to play, if I only had to play one game from now to eternity,
Yeah, go with that.
that would be a very Nah, man, it's so hard to answer this question because if I had to pick one single game to play from now to eternity, it would not be my favorite game. I know it
Also, a
sounds
fair
weird
point. Like, yeah, would it be you the thing that you would pick? Not necessarily.
because if I have to, it's there are just so many. I can't pick one. If I had to choose one game, I probably say if I okay, let's say if the question is you can only have one game on your computer from now to eternity, I would say something that is absolutely not my favorite game by any means, and it doesn't relate to my passion. And I know it's a turn off, but probably I will answer with Fortnite.
Oh, okay.
Because it's the game I play for casual fun. I love to have a match or two of Fortnite. I can really play more than two games. I got hooked in from my son, but now I think I play it more than my son, which now is a young adult and he prefers to go out with friends, and I prefer to play games or stay working on my computer. So if I had to pick one game installed, probably I would say Fortnite because if updates, because it's always updated, because it's fun to play one or two games. I mean, I would say Metroid probably or Kid Icarus as my favorite game ever because I have great memories of those games. Also Monkey Island, I would say, but it would suck to be only be able to play Metroid for a life.
Yeah. For me,
I
it's
know
it's
it's
got to be D&D, hand down. Just
which one? Sorry.
D&D, Dungeons and Dragons, the
That.
original.
Oh, okay. So
Like,
it's not a video game.
no, no. Like, I love video games, but like if it was down to I actually get to play one game every day, but I only get
Okay.
that one game. Oh, hands down D&D. Oh,
Okay.
hands
Well,
down.
it's different because I thought it was only about video games. D and
No,
D.
see
I
I left it open to interpretation. It's okay. Like I said best game. I said best game. So it's whatever
okay.
you feel
Let
your
me
best
think.
game is.
For me, it's impossible to pick one. D&D. I've not played many games of D&D because most times without the right players, I feel it's pretty boring. I
That
own a lot, a lot of game manuals. I own a lot of miniatures about D&D. I loved to just read the rules or the settings, but I've always find that playing it is kind of boring. I like the fight part. I like the fighting rules. I love games about D&D. I will kill to be able to make D&D like RPG on Wax or NFT.
that's what I'm working on. That
Yeah,
is
like an ongoing history they were influenced by players. I think it would be awesome. Something like that. I would love to talk about that.
yeah. Well, let's. I'm gonna invite you. There's a little kind of closed door section of my mountain tavern,
Oh, oh,
and
oh, oh.
we are discussing the the promulgation of pretty much exactly that. Like I've got big plans for Galil, which is the planet for D&D that I've spent the last like 2 decades plus crafting. I've got a 350,000 year history
You
for
have
it.
like your setting,
Yeah,
you create a set. This freaking awesome.
yeah. And when I say I started the changes from the ground up in this place, I'm specifically referring to the fact that the planet you live on is a cube.
Uh-huh.
And the this first game that I'm working on right now is going to be kind of a dungeon crawler style. It's
Whoa.
five different dragons or 5 different dungeons, and basically you're going to be exploring into the mind of 5 of the elder dragons and learning about the 350,000 year history of Galil since the breaking of the world.
Favorite edition of D&D?
3-5.
Hmm. I like Free Five. It's but the charm of the first edition to me is that's more dungeon crawling, you know?
I loved first edition. I really and truly like it has my heart, but it is so hard to get people
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
into first edition. Like that's why 3-5. 3-5 has the spirit of the first one, but it's got rules that the average person can pick up and follow. It is a little bit
Mm.
easier. Okay, it's a lot easier. But
Yeah,
Galil
yeah.
is kind of separate from that too. Like I kind of look at things like, all right, so the Greyhawk setting, right? The traditional D&D campaign. Imagine that that was Gotham City and Adam West was in it. Okay?
Adam West?
Yeah, as in the 1960s Batman show.
Mm-hmm.
All right? And then the Golaron setting, which is the primary Pathfinder setting, that one's a little bit more hardcore. So that one's Gotham City, and it's got Michael Keaton or George Clooney in it. And
Gotham
then
City is a great setting. One of the best cities written.
I,
I
I
also like
and I love how it's
Cyberpunk Night
different
City.
for every Batman, right? So, but that's what I'm kind of what I'm getting at. Like it's a little bit darker, it's a little bit grittier, it's a little bit more hardcore. Galil is more like Gotham City with Christian Bale in
Yeah,
it.
I love the trilogy. I love the trilogy. No, no, no,
I loved
Nolan.
all of
Yes,
the
this is
Batmans.
Nolan.
Out of all of the superheroes and the not so superheroes and the super not so heroes, out of all of them, Batman rises above.
I'm not a big fan of superheroes, but I love the trilogy and especially Gotham City, how it's dark and grim, and I think the trilogy is wow, perfect movie.
Have
I'm
you
not a
seen
big
any of the
fan of
new Bat
Marvel or
movies?
this. No, I like the Marvel Universe movies. I don't like that.
You
I'm
don't
not a
like
great
the
fan.
MCU? What?
No, no, no,
Hot
not really.
takes presented here, y'all. This guy is crazy.
No, I'm not a big fan of superheroes. No, not Marvel, not DC, no, not really. But yeah, the Batman trilogy for me it was is a fucking masterpiece.
I was
It's so grim and dark and great.
I was never really into like the comic books or anything like that as a kid. I was the characters were always cool, and like I would enjoy watching the cartoons or whatnot, but I was never religious about it or anything, and so it was never like a fascination for me. But I always knew that Batman was the best. Um, and then growing up like it was never that big a thing, but then when they started coming out with the movies and they were good movies, it was like okay, I know I can definitely get into this. And I've actually been rewatching the entire MCU in chronological order from the beginning, and I've gotten up to the point where all the shows are, which is making it a lot more difficult and slowing it down a lot. But it's really fun, and yes, that means I did even rewatch Captain Marvel. Um, but no, I really enjoy the MCU and all of the movies and whatnot. Even from someone who never got into the comics or anything as a kid. Did you have any other like comics or whatnot that you got into, or were you just straight up games? That was really it.
When I was younger, I was more into mangas. Not
Okay.
super big fan. I haven't read so many. More like the classic Berserk, Dragon Ball, and a few more. I was more into JRPGs, like Final Fantasy was one of my
One of the greatest game
biggest
series of
love.
all time, hands down.
Yeah, Final Fantasy. I played them all up to 10, I think.
Favorite Final
And
Fantasy, go.
favorite Final Fantasy? Well, that's easy. It's 7. Also 8, also 6, but I think 7. 7. It's hard between 7 and 8, but the setting totally 7. No, okay, no 7. I'm picking 7, no doubt. Yeah,
Three.
but also
Three.
3. You
Seven.
mean
Seven was great, but three was best.
3 as in Final Fantasy 6?
Yep.
Yeah. That's fucking awesome as well. The music in Final Fantasy 6, which in America I think is 3, right?
Yes.
Super
Yeah. It's
Nintendo,
three
Super.
six, not original three. I have also played original three, and there are other people who
No,
like
no,
it better. And
it gave me the goosebumps. It gave me the creeps thinking about the music of Final Fantasy 6.
yeah.
Man, there are some musical masterpieces in those games. I adore Final Fantasy 6. I think I've beaten it like 2 or 3 times, and yeah. There are close ties between 6, 7, and 8. I think they're all very good.
Honestly, I didn't care for eight, not because of the game, but because of my history with the game. Like, I never actually got beyond disc one, despite like seven starts on that game, because the one time I got to the end of disc one before like moving or losing the game, or whatever, somehow losing access to being able to play it. um the one time I got to the end of disc one, the beginning of disc two was scratched and wouldn't actually play through the intro movie. So I never got to start on disc two.
I had a similar issue on Final Fantasy 8 because when it wouldn't load the ending movie,
Oh,
so
oh,
I
that's even
had to,
harsher.
yeah, it wouldn't load the ending movie, so I had to buy it again at some point and replay it all after to watch the final movie, and it was disappointing, to be honest.
That's
The
yeah, that's
story of
rough.
Final Fantasy 8 was really,
My favorite
yeah,
part of 8 was the card game, but then they ruined the card
yeah,
game in
it was
9,
good.
along with, like, in all honesty, what the fuck was 9?
I mean, a lot of people like 9 and say it's one of the best.
A lot of people
I
like 9, but I feel it's ridiculous. Like, it's an amazing game that is not Final Fantasy.
Mechanics,
But as
good
Final Fantasy,
mechanics.
what the fuck is that?
Yeah, for me, it's just kind of forgettable. You know,
Yeah,
I don't remember much about Final Fantasy 9.
like, yeah, it was not. It took the card game from 8 and made it worse. It added in a sport, which is, I mean, I guess this is when Harry Potter was becoming ridiculously, everywhere, ubiquitous all the time. So it made sense. Like, it was water Quidditch. But
I think you're talking about 10. I don't even remember Final Fantasy 9 as something like that. Or if it does, it was just so forgettable that I can't remember about it.
yeah, no, that's the thing. Yeah, they introduced something. It wasn't
The
exactly the sport in 10, but it was the card game from 8 and some kind of sport. And really the only thing I actually remember about that storyline is like the monkey kid. Like your main
mm,
protagonist has a tail, and like that's it. Um
9 was pretty forgettable to be for me, at
yeah.
least for me.
And then
I don't.
I liked 10, but then after they went to pay to play, online necessary subscription, I was like, eh.
Yeah, 10 was the last one for me as well. I'm looking forward for the remake. I haven't played it yet. I played it once with on my son with my son on PlayStation, but I don't. I'm curious on how it's going to move forward. But I mean, Final Fantasy VII was another thing.
Have you
And
played the
there's also
remaster?
the nostalgia. Oh, the no, not the remaster. I mean the remake. There's an actual remake, you know.
Yeah.
But which is the story is different. So that's what I'm curious about. I want to know where they headed with this history variations, you know.
Yeah, because there isn't there. All right, so there's 7, and then there's 7-2, and then there's the remaster, and then there's the remake.
Yeah, I was talking about the remake, and everyone is asking, is Ares going to die? Of course, because
Did
it
did did
sucks
that
so
break
much
your
when
heart when that happened?
not really, to be honest. Also, it was spoiled for me,
Oh,
but mainly, you know, it sucks to lose a character. Mainly on the game side, you know, not really on the narrative side, but more. You mean you leveled up
oh yeah,
this
she was
fucking
the first
character.
first playthrough. She was such a badass healer. She was my number one. She was higher level than Cloud. Like, yeah, no. So when she died, like that was like my heart was in the materia that she was dropping. I was like, no.
But for me, it was more. I need that character. I leveled it up, so you can take I am addicted to leveling up. I love everything about leveling up, and so that was more heartbreaking for me. Yes, it was sad, but I mean, it's a story. I wouldn't cry. But yes, you're taking away from me a fucking character. I want to stack those. I have OCD about this. You know, you can't take a character away from me. That hard. That
Yeah.
hard.
Yeah, exactly. And especially like your primary healer, and she was such a badass healer. All right, so you
That
said you
was
love
me.
leveling up. You said that's one of your like favorite things about gaming is leveling up. What is your favorite experience system? Like just specifically talking about actually the act of leveling up, whether it's cards, characters, whatever. What what does your inspiration for a perfect XP system look like?
Wow. Wow, great question. I do like the RPG. Like I've been playing Pathfinder. I think it's Pathfinder on PC. I do like Dungeon and Dragon leveling up system on the video game adaptation. In general, wow, deep question. I will need time to think about it. There are absolutely some that I like and can think about right now. I would say yes, D&D games is one of my favorite because I like to the choice and the freedom that you have in leveling up D&D like characters. Some Final Fantasy was good, all of them. Most of them were different but good. Well, yes. For now, it's a very tough question. I like the progression as most of us do. What for you? I'm going to revert the question to you
It's actually something
while I
I've been
think
thinking
about it.
of a lot lately because it's kind of one of the bases of the what I'm doing with my leveling system for this because it's something that I have been really contemplating for a long time, and I'm just I'm doing 10%. Like every level is just going to be 10% more than the last one, and I feel like that's going to you're going to start off feeling really good and moving really quick, and then it's going to start to get slower and it's going to really slog towards the end, and I kind of like how that goes.
But yeah, if you had to pick one game, one, or did I miss the answer? Sorry.
Oh no, that's actually not from any game. That is what I have come up with
Oh,
as
okay.
my
So
experience
you
system.
answer with your leveling up system.
It's yeah. I mean, as far as the choice, of what your level ups actually mean, I love the customization with D&D, and that's one of like that's probably my like third favorite part of D&D is just how much control you have over how your character grows more powerful.
And 3.5 is great on that.
Exactly.
Multi leveling all the way,
Yeah.
double class.
And that's something that is also part of Galil, and Galil has grown out of like obviously more than 20 years. It was before 3.5. Like all of the D&D I've ever played, like 90% of my characters are represented on that world somewhere somehow, and there's a solution for it better than because magic. And then like I said, the world is a cube, and I've taken different inspiration from pretty much everywhere. All of the games that I've ever played, including like World of Warcraft. That's where my Goddess of Chaos came from. I spent
That
a
was
lot of
good.
time with that. Splinterlands has some representation in there. Players will run across ureas and get poisoned. um, and like everything that I do is represented there some way, because that is kind of what it is for me, is my representation of everything that I love about gaming. Um,
Yeah, same for me with my word, or at least how it's going to be totally. Yeah, it's cool to create words. It's not easy, but it's you feel like a god sometimes, no?
right, and
You're
it's good to put that god complex into world creation rather than just being a douche in public.
yeah, I'm with you on that 100%.
So how
I'm still thinking about your last question, man. Now I think I'm maybe next week I will write you. Oh, okay. Now I thought about my favorite leveling up system ever. Uh, Secret of Mana on the Super Nintendo was.
Oh
I
my
mean,
god, I remember that one. I remember
yeah,
that one. That game was so great. Oh
it
shit,
was.
I had that one. I didn't get to beat either because I was so young, stupid edge lord when I was playing that. At that phase in my life, I named my main character Fuck. And when
Oh,
my
that's
mom saw that my main character's name was Fuck, that cartridge mysteriously disappeared in the middle of me
no,
playing and
no,
was put into the trash in no less than 3 pieces. Like, and that was the last time I ever played that game. I don't even remember where the
no.
hell I was in it, but I remember I loved that fucking game.
If Secret of Mana is still the music also was. There are some tracks that are amazing, man, amazing, and the music there was. Ooh, and yeah, I mean maybe the leveling system wasn't the best thing ever. There was something about leveling the weapons, but the game to me means so much. And I've read some that it was supposed to be a lot more expanded, but because of the memory limitation on the cartridge, he said it had to be compressed and some parts were cut, and I always lose a lot of sleep thinking about what it could have been. I love that game so much. Yeah, I mean, what was the missing content? What are we missing? Why isn't there a parallel universe when where NES cartridges were bigger and we could have had what they were originally thinking? Where are the missing scripts? I mean, probably it wasn't nothing special, but I can't sleep over that. And to me, Secret of Mana was well, I love that game
Well,
so
get some
much.
rest tonight because there is a parallel universe where that exists, but you will never get
Oh,
there.
who knows?
For me, I would have to say, I've like on the video game side of things, the closest I've seen to perfect in a single game was actually Diablo 2.
I'm not a huge fan. I mean, I don't think I've played it. I played the three, which was. I
I
don't
also
think I
love
played
Diablo
them.
3. I'm a huge fanboy of the Diablo franchise. Immortal is a terrible microtransaction based, absolute money shill of a fucking travesty of a game. And yet I still
Mortal.
have to play it all the way through because I have to find out what happens to Sanctuary.
No, okay. I mean, I know Diablo. I know it well, but I don't think I actually played it the first two. I
I
played three a little.
I recently did, not recently, like November or December of last year, maybe October. I did a playthrough of Diablo 1 from character creation to killing Diablo. It took 12 and a half hours and it was fucking magnificent. It
No,
was
I
so much
don't.
fun.
Those games there's just so too much stuff going on. Too many numbers everywhere. I'm not a great fan of that. Those too chaotic. Too. That's what Diablo is a little for me. Just too many numbers on screen. Too much stuff on screen for me.
Fair enough.
Not a great fan to be honest. But I mean, I never got into it that much.
It was actually, that was my first video game, was Diablo 1. Like the day that it
Oh.
dropped, Diablo 1 was the first game I ever loved in terms of video games. And started it all. And Diablo 2 was amazing. I've probably bought the Diablo 2 battle chest at least 6 times.
Uh,
Just because,
but
different computers throughout my life and whatnot, and, or lose the book and you can't find the book. But the book could be $30. The battle chest is $30. Might as well get the battle chest. But I've almost that book. Like you've got the Monkey Island bosses memorized. I've got Diablo 2 memorized. I've got Diablo 1 memorized. I like
you
the first part of that stream was actually running through town 3 times, or no, actually I think it was 5 times. We ran through 5 times and then reset to make sure that we got the two early quests that really make a difference. So like I didn't have to look it up or anything like that. I knew, okay, no, we need to make sure that the
you
well
were
is
the guy
brown
there.
and we need to make sure that there's a wounded townsfolk outside the church, and then just do that. And then like I occasionally I'd go down a level and be like, wait, no, go back up. That was level 5, that was level 10, that was level 15. We got our way back to town. Like still remembering all that shit after all these years. I hadn't played that in forever, and it was so much fun.
I know a lot of people that love Diablo. I'm just seeing now on Twitch that there's someone playing Diablo 4. I didn't even knew there was
Yep,
Diablo
Diablo
4.
4 is in closed beta right now. I am unfortunately not part of it, and unfortunately will not be able to play like release day because A, I don't have a copy, B, I don't have a computer that would play it. But
Oh, That's heartbreaking.
Yeah, I'd like Diablo 3. I was actually at the store for the midnight release. I got my
Oh,
copy. I was there hanging out with everybody and whatnot. I got home. I installed it. The shit literally took 6.5 hours to install and download and all of that shit. And I stayed up with it. And I finally get it on and ready to play. And I load it up and boodunk. Your graphics card is not supported.
oh, fucking hell.
6 months later, I finally got to play Diablo 3 for the first time. And one of the things I was
Massive.
most excited about for Diablo 3 when it came out, or the reason I pre ordered, real money auction house. I'm like, wait, I can make real money by playing this game and farming shit and then selling it? Yes, let's. But 3 months into the release, real money auction house went the way of the dodo. So 6 months, no real money auction house anymore. Son of a bitch.
Whoa, Diablo 3 has been a bad experience for you, man.
No, it's been an amazing experience for me because also Diablo 3 is where I fell in love with playing hardcore. So when my characters die, they're dead.
Oh,
And I got up
that's
to
cool.
Greater Rift 100 on hardcore, seasonal on Diablo 3. And with a demon hunter at that. I thoroughly enjoyed Diablo 3. That game was awesome. It's so high paced and yet they're so fast paced and yet so 100% Diablo. Like
It was good to play with friends. I played it on PlayStation, so I guess it was a little different. I don't
I have
remember the
seen it
hardcore
on
mode.
PlayStation and it's I mean it's similar but it definitely is different. And then like doing it with buttons rather than keys is awkward, but I mean if it helps to reach a new audience, I'm all for it. It's not personally for me, but I'm glad that it's there for those who it is, better for. But for me, yeah, it's absolutely a mouse and keyboard game. And then they came out with Immortal a little while ago, and one of the things I love about it is so like with Diablo 3, I could play on my computer, you could play on PlayStation, and Bob could play on Xbox,
Hmm.
but we can't play
I
together.
love.
With
Oh,
Diablo
I
Immortal, I can play on my phone, you can play on your computer, and we can play together. I can,
I'm a big fan of cross-platform.
yeah,
Cross-platform is great.
it is amazing. Especially in like this is the first game I've played where I'm able to like play in the car on the way home or on the bus or whatever. Obviously not while I'm driving, but if I'm not driving, play in the car on the way home, get home, turn off the phone, pull up the same character on my computer. Like that is
That's great. That's
amazing to
great.
me.
That's great. I love that 100%. And cross-platform and being able to cross-save is the future. And I wish every game supported that. When I find a cross-platform, most times I with my son, he has the PlayStation. I'm on computer. I only have computer now, so. With Fortnite, we could play together. I think it was one of the first cross-platform game
Nice.
support, and for me it's great to be able playing cross platform is super cool feature.
Absolutely. Now, I heard something. I don't know. Are you ready to spoil that news to to everybody? What we were well, I guess it was on stream last night. So right before I left, I heard Rogue mentioning that you might be expanding Pixtalgia to Hive.
Yeah, no, we there aren't many secrets about Pixtalgia, about our project. Pretty much I mean, I don't want to over promise, and sometimes I might, but yeah, we're not really keeping our secret for ourselves. When we get plans, we like to share. And of course, I hope everyone understands that when we talk about future plans, it's not like promises. I mean, we
That's
should really be able to. There should not be any great issues on moving to I. We always said the idea of going multi-chain. But yes, now I've always told my developers that I've is a good blockchain for games and has a lot of potential. And I don't know too much about Hive and the community yet. I've played a little Splinterlets, but really not much. I've played a little Rising Star, which I love the concept and the arts, but is not a game. I mean, not an action game. It's a strategy and clicker.
It is
And
very
what
much a
else?
strategy clicker, and I love it. As you said earlier about Monkey Island and whatnot, those 8-bit games, I love it because of the humor. Like the gameplay and the setup and the cheek of the whole thing and the kind of inside musical jokes and whatnot. I love Rising Star because of that, and it's something that, like, despite the tokenomics being kind of shit, I have no intention of quitting. Uh,
I
also,
like the concept.
also, they made me a card, so you know what?
Yo, I might own you, man. For real,
R206. You probably do.
for real.
If
I
not,
need to check it. I might be owning you, man. I don't know how rare is it.
well, I'm a rare. I'm not like a rare rare.
Ah,
Like the early
fuck.
number rares
No,
are.
no, no, I need to check. I haven't been playing much lately. I mean, I'm not big fan of clickers, to be honest. I I mean, Rising Star has a didgeridoo card, so for me it's a win, and I'm in love with that. I love the didgeridoo, which is a not very known instrument. I'm a big fan. I'm an amateur player of the didgeridoo.
Oh no
So
crap!
for
Bust it out. You got one?
sorry,
You got one?
I got like seven.
But bust one out, man. Play us something.
I mean I'm not that good. That's not my favorite. But it's the closer one, so it's fine. This is
Oh wow, that is beautiful.
I could try, man. I don't expect anything special.
Wow, that is dope as hell. We got live didgeridooery.
But I
Thank
could
you.
go on, but
That was
no
fun.
applause sound effects. No, don't you have sound effects like a
I
crowd?
am not nearly that advanced, sir. I'll just give you a round of applause myself.
Thank you. So well, Rising Star is a didgeridoo card, so I think that's how I found it. I was
All right, so I'm
I
guessing you
typed
collect the
didgeridoo and something.
didgeridoos.
Yeah, I collect them. I try to play them. Not a super expert, but I love the instrument. I love didgeridoo music, and yeah, I like the concept of them having this radio and that I think it could be so much more. To be honest, I I I think it could be so much more, and I like the part when you can record music and you can sell music online. I think it could be much more, but I like the concept. I'm a big music fan. What's that? What was it?
You're echoing terribly right now.
Ah, tell me check one two
Okay,
check.
what the heck?
Let me close some windows. Maybe I have no idea.
Okay, I don't know with my headphones on why it's actually doing that. You shouldn't be catching yourself or anything. Let me check.
No, I shouldn't, man.
Okay, no, I think you're good now. Go ahead and drop your Hive name in the Discord chat for me, if you would.
Yeah, let me open it.
Because I will send you all of my didgeridoos except one.
Oh man, I can use didgeridoo. I mean, I
I love
didgeridoo me up, man.
If
Yeah,
you
I think
have any extra bassoons, I collect them because my fiance actually played Carnegie Hall on bassoon.
I will look for I will check. I haven't been playing much lately. Since we started working on the game, I haven't been much in touch with any
Fair
pro.
enough.
I mean, I always say everyone that I'm very sorry, but I have stopped playing. If not, maybe for research, but not much. I suck because I'm not a big collector. I'm not playing. I'm not. I used to be a lot more updated on the projects, but since starting our own, I've been missing a lot of news. Thanks to Aquascape Art keeps me a little updated, but I'm not in touch really with any project or any games. I don't play that much myself. NFT games. I mean, I do play some retro games on Steam. I do play a little Fortnite every now and then, but I'm missing a lot of the hot news on the blockchain. But
And
so yeah, Rising Stars, I like it. I feel it could be much more, to be honest.
do you
The concept is great.
do you stream anything? Are you a content creator, or are you strictly a content creator?
No, I've streamed yesterday a test for the. I would like to stream a little more. I don't love streaming, to be honest myself. I love Twitch. I love getting in touch with the wax streamers. I like Twitch as a platform. It's very. There are a few Italian streamers that I follow about. Then a format that is going strong right lately is true crime. A lot of people are streaming true crime content. I like that. But yeah, I would like to stream more about the game, mainly like updates, live drawings, working on the project. But I'm lazy for that. I can't keep a schedule, and sometimes I'm too lazy to have to like take 2 hours of my time to sit straight and do something for two. I like to have a lot of windows open, do one thing for 10 minutes, then move to another. I'm too chaotic for that. I've tried streaming a few times, but
It's funny.
I get bored.
You're pretty much describing my stream right there. Like I've got windows open everywhere. I'm jumping around between all sorts of different things, and I'm just like answering the chat, and like this is the least I have going on when I'm live is like right now on these interviews, because it's like I'm entirely focused on conversation with you, making sure that everything is running smooth, and I keep an eye on chat. But like yeah, it's definitely absolute chaos when you see my real live
I,
stream, my nightly one.
I streamed yesterday. I might do it again a few times to showcase the game mainly.
Cool, cool. And are you you on YouTube, Insta, or like any of it for you, or is it all for like Pixtalgia? Because obviously you're everywhere for Pixtalgia, but
I mean, I myself, I got off every social media. I live online, but I got off of all personal social media because I was sick, and I think it can be toxic. A couple years ago, I got off Facebook, I got off Instagram. It was like, I mean, I'm addicted to internet and technology, but. Yeah, I was sick, to be honest, of so much stupid stuff and so many people that I'm not in touch anymore. And I said, who cares? I'm sick of posting stupid stuff. But yeah, for the project, I'm everywhere. Instagram, not much. I don't think it's great for NFTs. I don't think many NFT people are there, and I don't really like the platform. I think it was mainly for photography and so models maybe, but I'm not a big fan of Instagram. Musicians maybe yes, but I don't like those short content. I absolutely hate TikTok and the short clips. I like YouTube, of course. I spend a lot of time. Yeah, both on Instagram. I have no love for Instagram. No, even Facebook. I don't think it's good for. I think the NFT platform is Twitter, 100%. So I never cared about Twitter, and in Italy it's not very strong. Like the people you know, they most likely don't have Twitter. They have Facebook and Instagram, but no one is on his personal Twitter.
Really?
So
Okay.
I was subscribed to Twitter a long time ago. I had Twitter, but never used it much before NFTs.
I
So I
did
started
not
to.
have Twitter before NFTs.
I had
actually
it, but never
refused.
used. Sorry for interrupting.
Oh no, you're good. You're my
Never
guest. You
use
can't
much
interrupt.
Twitter. Yeah.
No, early on, like I was really kind of anti Twitter, and I refused. It was really crypto and NFTs that kind of forced me to get on Twitter, um, and now I'm there. I quit Facebook for like a year before I got divorced, and it was amazing. I was so glad I did. And then after I got divorced,
Divorce or Facebook? Quitting Facebook.
yes, yeah, both.
Yes.
And then when I got divorced, decided I was changing my name. I was working up in the mountain, like way up in a city called Telluride, doing road construction and whatnot. Um, and I'm up there and I'm camping out 5 nights a week and then just going home on the weekends. And while I'm up there, I'm getting all these amazing mountain shots, right? So I was like, I gotta share these. And I don't really have an outlet to share them. So that is where Rick on the Mountain was actually born. Is I started on Insta just so that I could post those pictures that I was getting of the mountain, and that's where the name came from. Rick on
So
the Mountain.
Instagram or Facebook? You're sharing the pictures on Instagram and Facebook?
Well, yeah, I have a personal Facebook now because that's where my fiance is, and like all of her family, she wants to be able to tag me in photos and whatnot. So I pretty much don't use it. Every once in a while, I'll post stuff, of her and I and whatnot. But that's like more like that's the personal side of things. That is not
Family.
Rick on the Mountain. That is just Rick, and then everything else is Rick on the Mountain, and kind of the Insta is more the personal side of it. I'll throw up like some ads there and whatnot every once in a while, like just links and shit and thumbnails, but like I don't get much traffic there. I don't really post much there. I don't do anything with it. It's yeah, kind of just there.
Yeah. I mean, it's alright. You can't really live off. I mean, I do, but you can on if you are creating content. You mean it's you can do it without the social media. So
Yeah. The two that I
I
don't
got a
do.
love.
Oh, go ahead.
No, I was saying I got a love hate relationship with this technology.
Yeah, absolutely. The two that I don't do at all are TikTok and Telegram.
No, TikTok it's only hate relationship.
Yeah, I was on there for a while,
Telegram,
but
Telegram mixed feelings as well. I used to hate Telegram 100 because I hate mobile phones. I hate smartphones to be honest. I have one, but I I hate doing internet on mobile. I'm not a big fan. My mobile is turned off most time. So yeah, I can really I hate using mobile for. I don't use apps. I don't use. So Telegram for me at first was a big hated Telegram a lot. Last year when we were 2022 full bear and Discord was a desert. we kind of moved to Telegram because we felt, me, when I say we, I mean me and Aquascape, we have a community together. We share our community. So we try to promote ourselves on the same channels, on the same. We have a this small group name is Wax Italia, which is basically me and Aquascape, and so we teamed up on promoting our stuff, and we moved to Telegram because we felt there was more life there. We don't have a super big community. It's some of them are really passionate and really great people, which show a lot of love, but there wasn't that much activity on Discord, so we moved to Telegram. But there are some nice features. I'm not a huge fan, to be honest. I don't know. Also, mixed relationship with Telegram. Well, I don't know. I think I like Discord. What's that?
Just the echoing coming back. Maybe if you like lean
So
to the other side a little bit more.
which side? This
To
side?
your right.
To my right, so
There you
this
go.
side?
Yeah, I
Or
think
maybe I should try lower the volume of my microphone.
there you go.
Maybe helps. Oh, I was on 11, so maybe it could have been that.
But this one goes up to
Is it
11.
better? Yeah, Spinal Tap, right?
Yes. Well,
No?
this is this is Spinal Tap. It's not Airheads, which was also Spinal Tap, right?
Oh, that's I love Reds as well. Great fucking movie.
Yes.
No, okay, no. Reds, yes, it's the one with Adam Sandler, right?
Yes.
He's the drummer there. Yeah, yeah. This fun movie. I like it. I was thinking about, I think it's Rockstar, which is the history of Judas Priest.
Yep. I have not
That's
seen that one,
another
but
good movie. That's a good movie. Good movie.
have you seen the Weird Al one, the Elvis one, or the Freddie Mercury one?
Freddie Mercury,
I think that one was
Weird
called
Al.
Bohemian Rhapsody.
Yeah, I know that. I know about that. I think I don't remember if I seen it. If I've seen it, I don't remember much of it. I must have been stoned probably, or just. But no, I'm really not a huge fan of these rockumentaries because they're pretty fake usually.
Right.
I don't remember if I've seen the movie. If I've seen it, it must have sucked. I'm pretty sure. If I've seen it, I've hated it.
Fair enough. I would also
Did you
be the
like? Did
first
you
time
like
I've
them?
heard that opinion. I haven't seen it, but I've heard it's really good. A lot of people
I,
have told me
I
it was really good.
the reception was quite positive. I've seen the Motley Crue one, I think, and I think it sucked as well.
Okay.
Weird Al, I don't know about that. Which was the other one you mentioned?
Elvis.
No, I haven't. Is it good?
I haven't seen any of them, so
No.
I just know that they've all been remade. Like I don't really
I've
watch
seen
all
the
that.
Motley Crue one, and it was so stupid, so stupid movie, such like so fake and dumb, and I really hated it.
Yeah, for musicians, like I'll read the biography or I'll watch the biography. I don't want to watch a movie. You know, like that just
Rock
seems.
biographies, I love them. I've read a lot of rock biographies,
Who's your
and
favorite? Not
I've
not
read.
person, biography. Who's your favorite biography? Let's put it that way, because otherwise that can be a
Okay,
little
when you say the favorite of all time, for me, it's always hard to pick one. I've read Slash
I know it's
and
hard.
and
That's the
this
point
was
of the
cool.
question.
Probably Clapton. I've read the biography of Eric Clapton, not because I'm a big fan, but this was a very great, good read. I've read the one from Nicky Six as well. I've read Ozzy. I've read Slash, Metallica, and I'm sure more, but I don't know. I really liked mainly because I had the physical book laying around. So out of boredom, I've read it 1,000 times, but it was a great read. I don't know.
I really like
Which
Steven
one?
Tyler's.
I haven't read that. But I mean, when it's sex, drugs, and rock and roll stories, I'm all for that. It's so fun, a great read.
Yeah.
Ozzy was fine. Was kind of crazy one. I think I read, but memories for me is sometimes gets confused, but I do like reading. It's a good read for me. Now I need to catch Steven Tyler one. Sometimes I read them in online format as well, which is kind of crazy to read a book on online format, but yeah, sometimes they are to find.
Yeah, I'm actually
So some
I'm reading the biography of Benjamin Franklin right now at night, like on my phone, and it's a tough read because it's a different English. Like the
Yeah, is it
language has
sex, drugs,
changed a
and
lot.
rock and roll as well? Did he play the concerts in arenas or so?
What? Huh?
I'm joking. I mean, was Benjamin Franklin's life full of concerts, music, sex, drugs, rock and roll, crazy
No, no, it's definitely a
hotel
very different kind.
distractions?
Definitely a very different kind of biography, but
He,
I mean,
he, he
it's a
didn't
good one too.
trash hotel rooms.
Nah, nah,
Okay.
he was very much a prim and proper type. He didn't not have any kind of downsides or shenaniganery, but definitely nothing like trashing hotel rooms or throwing guitars out windows. Those things were
Groupie
kind of
stories.
unheard of. He did get around a lot though to escape unfavorable circumstances, which feels kind of true to my own life and is kind of nice to draw that correlation. Honestly, sometimes it makes me feel a little
Like the
ashamed.
reincarnation.
Oh no, not at all. I'm not saying I am Benjamin Franklin or anywhere near. So how do you drink your coffee?
I drink coffee all the time, and basically I don't care about taste. I just need the caffeine.
Oh,
There's my
that's
brother. My brother did me a nice present. He gave me the French press. You know about it.
love French
We
press.
we we have the mocha in Italy. It's so everyone does the mocha. You
Yep.
know that, and but this was my curse because now I drink coffee 24 hours because
Yep.
I make a big one and last whole day. So from 2 cups, I switched to 24 hours, and that's not great.
I make a pot when I get up, and I make a pot at the beginning of my streams, and sometimes I make a pot in between those.
Yeah, so I'm drinking coffee all the time. He is big about flavors and coffee beans, grinding the coffee beans
Mm-hmm.
from different countries. And I mean, I love that. I love a good coffee, but for me, it's addiction. I need the caffeine. It can be also discount cheap coffee. I don't care. I need the caffeine.
And
That's all.
see,
I'm addicted.
it's
And
funny because like the one that I make when I'm streaming, a lot of times I'm actually brewing decaf. Just I like drinking coffee. I like the flavor. Like it's not necessarily all about the caffeine, um, because caffeine doesn't really seem to affect me all that much. I love coffee. I love the flavor of coffee. I don't need anything in it. I'll drink it black or I'll drink it with milk, sugar, whatever. You can prep it up however you want. I fucking love
black,
coffee.
black. Black for me is black, and I do love the taste of coffee. I don't mind to have a good coffee. I like a good coffee, but for me the problem is when I'm out of coffee, and that's a problem. So
Right?
now
The biggest
now I'm
problem with
drinking shit
coffee is
coffee.
running out of coffee. And I like it's actually so pertinent that you mentioned that because I just poured in the last of this carafe.
Aye. No, and now I'm drinking shit chips coffee
Yep. I mean, I can still drink cheap
powder.
shit, especially like right now. I'm fairly fairly broken. Yeah, that was actually the last. I gotta go out and get some more whenever we get done with this interview. I'm gonna have to get some more coffee because that was the last of what I got. But yeah, can be cheap stuff, but I enjoyed the better stuff as well. It
Yeah, of
can
course.
be, I have a grinder. I've
South
got
American.
grinders, whatnot to make
Yeah,
all the
me
good
too.
stuff. We got the milk frother and everything like that. But I also have the cheap ass broken down 12 cup drip pot right next to my streaming setup for that exact reason. Like,
Emergency for emergencies.
not even for emergencies, because that lasts roughly 2 hours. My interviews are 2 hours, my streams are 2 hours. So I make a pot of coffee and it lasts roughly 2 hours. We got 27 minutes left, and I got like 2/3 of a cup. And it roughly works out to about 2 hours. Like, it's just a little natural timer.
When coffee's out, we're done. That's it.
Not necessarily. Just when coffee is up, chances are that the time I actually scheduled with you is about up. And I want to be respectful of your time. I want to let you go when it's time to go, unless you want to stay. Like, if we both ain't
I don't
got
know.
nothing to do, I have had these sessions go 4 hours before, and I'm game. Like, those, when it keeps going, it's great. I'm just like, I'm cognizant of the fact that I only scheduled you for 2 hours.
Nah, honestly, I had no. I didn't knew about it. I just hopped in and can be how long as you want, man. I just at some point I will only need to recharge my nicotine because the other addiction for me is the nicotine. So
Gotcha.
caffeine and nicotine, I can live without, unfortunately.
I am now 8 days, 8 days nicotine free.
Yeah, you were smoking, vaping.
Smoking cigars,
Mm,
Black and
no,
Mild were
better than
my,
cigarettes. Yes, cigarettes
yeah.
are the worst.
No, cigars are not better than cigarettes. They're just as bad and unfiltered, like, and stronger. Like, I'm under no illusions that it's better than cigarettes in any way. I haven't smoked a
And
cigarette in about 13 years now, but cigars kept drawing me back, and most importantly, like the cigarillos and whatnot, like the
hmm
yeah, and smoking blunts, like that's yeah, that's where I would keep falling back into it. My problem, especially the Black and Mild jazz, they're like a buck or less, and they're so damn good. But yeah, it's just spending too much money on it, spending too much time on it, and I mean, you're paying to kill yourself. So yeah.
and how's it going? It's the first time you quit smoking?
No, it's definitely not the first. It's not the first time I've made it this long, but I feel like there's a little bit more oomph behind this one because I had kind of a crisis of uh, like a conflict of identity, really, and realized that it's just
I know what you mean, man.
it's not who I want to be anymore. And like, I had been lying to my lady about it, whatnot, trying to hide it and everything, and it was like, you know what? No, this is just I'm done. And so then I actually, like, came clean, told her everything, and just like, since then has been. I'm not saying that there's not been any struggles, but it's been a lot better. It's like I've got a clearer focus about it now than really ever before. Um, and I've even made it, a couple of years before,
Mm-hmm.
which is both kind of encouraging and at the same time absolutely terrifying. But it really
Yeah,
kind
I
of
quitting smoking. I've been smoking mainly joints for a lot of time, and I've never been able to stop. Only thing that made me stop was the vape, and I'm totally addicted to the vape as well. I can I can't be a couple hours without the vape. I would kill someone probably. I wish to stop at some point, but it's still too early. I think it's 3 years, 2 or 3 years without smoking combustion. I've also quit to smoke weed. No, no, I mean quit smoking joints. I vape weed as well, and but yeah, it was a lot better to switch to. I'd recommend. I mean, if you can do without, it's even better. It's really great to have strength of will. It's. But for me, it would have been impossible to quit smoking without the vapes. It helped a lot, and it took a lot of time and a lot of strength to quit smoking. But I'm grateful that thanks to the vapes, I could quit at least combustion. I mean, it's a lot healthier. It's not like completely quitting.
I would disagree
It's
with that.
cheating. It's cheating.
It's still just as bad as smoking. It's still it's different, but I think that they're pretty much the same. Um, but
I wouldn't say. I mean, it's not healthy, but it's healthier.
I would
You
say
don't
that
say?
there's definitely going to be things that are coming out about it in the future that we don't know about yet. As
I
there are
hope no.
with all things, like how long did it take to find out that cigarettes caused cancer? You know, in 20, 30 years, we're going to be finding out exactly what kind of damage that vaping is causing right now, and it's going to be just as bad. Like the best thing is to just be with that. And honestly, like I'm not trying to be holier than thou or anything like that. I'm still smoking bud, and like I honestly, vapes never did it for me. Like, what I love is the act of smoking. It's not nicotine that I'm addicted to, it's the act of smoking. And that's why, I vapes I never really cared about. I enjoy hitting them and whatnot, or did, but it was like I could never switch to vaping from smoking because it's not smoking.
I feel what you say, and I agree at some point. I think that the difference between smoking and vaping is huge. At
Yeah.
least I feel a lot better, a lot better. I was always tired smoking, and now I don't. I don't feel that anymore. So I couldn't breathe at some point. It was hard to do two ramps of stairs because and now I don't. I agree that I hope it's not so bad. I mean, I kind of think it's not bad, but I know it's bad at some point. I'm also vaping nicotine, so well, I hope it's in 20 years they don't find it's that bad. I agree with you. Of course, you're right. It would be better to quit altogether. I'm not ready yet. I'm not absolutely ready yet. I will. I think it's easier to quit a vape than quit cigarettes.
And that may
But
be like
yeah,
as a transitionary thing. I'm not saying anything against it or anything like that. I'm just like, for me personally, it wasn't really an option because I have tried it, and it's not the same. It doesn't satisfy it. It's just kind of whatever. And also, like, it would be so much worse because it's not actually scratching that itch. Like, I would just be a fucking fiend if I had a rig like you do. Like, I probably would have gone through a whole fucking thing just in this interview, and then like had to refill it like I do
I
with the
do.
coffee. Like, that's just I how I consume things like that. And so yeah, no, it would be a lot worse, because it doesn't actually scratch that itch. So, but more
No,
power to you.
I
But
had to. At first, it wasn't. At first, it wasn't. I had to spend a little time to get used Now when now it does. Now it does satisfy me. In the beginning it didn't, and yes, it took me a lot of effort to switch. And at some point I might quit them as well. But yeah, it was the only way for me. I couldn't quit cold turkey. Yeah, I was just too addicted. So it's good at least that they made me quit smoking. That's a big plus.
Yeah, and I mean, there are many ways that it is better. Obviously, as you were alluding to, with being able to breathe easier and whatnot. You're not probably not coughing as often. It definitely doesn't smell. Stink everything up the same way. So like, it does have benefits. I'm not trying to deny that either. I'm just, yeah, like I said, I know that there are going to be unforeseen consequences out of it, and it just never really kind of actually hit the spot for me. So
Yeah,
that's why I never really gave it
I
as much.
understand.
Um,
Yeah, it's personal, it's subjective, of course. Now I need to charge it actually
okay.
because it's done. Hold on a second. Now talking about it, I
Let me.
yeah, I'm addicted as fuck, man.
If you want to
Apologies.
go ahead and share your screen, talk about that video or whatever that you were wanting to share, we can go ahead and pull that up. I will figure out how to get it up here on the screen.
Yeah, I can do that. Only I'm afraid about the volume of the music, which is spot on. It's fucking great music. It's the best chip tunes ever. I will say I didn't made it. I do some chip tunes music, but it's not as great by any means. But I'm just a little afraid that it might.
I can control the music.
Yeah, I might not be hearing you much because it will be probably loud for me. I can't control, but I can totally show you something. A little gameplay. It's not fully developed yet. It's work in progress, which it shouldn't. The bones are there. We need a little more adjustment, like collisions and level designing, and something about the enemies. We need to add the final boss. Okay, now the music is on for me. I need to share the screen. So now all I'm hearing is loud music. But yeah, I can totally show you something.
You have a lot of instrumentation behind you.
Yeah, it's a mess, man. I am a drummer by. I was born a drummer, but I try to. I'm not good at anything, but I like to play with moss. I think the
Oh
screen
shit, son!
right now the difficulty is brutal, man. I need to focus completely, or I will die in 1 second.
All right, I don't even have music.
Yeah, it's hard. It's super hard. We need to adjust difficulty. It shouldn't be as hard from the beginning. There are a lot of adjustment to be done. You will be able to switch between spaceships. And the spaceships are NFTs. If I go to back, you can see the ship, I think. It's asteroid fields. We're almost done already. It's just a quick preview of the first moments. Okay, when I go to back, the ship is out of the screen.
This
But
is
that's
awesome.
pretty much it so far. The music is great, man. I think you could agree.
I actually do not hear the music at all, my friend.
Oh, you're missing all the music. That's bad. Sad, 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 really sad. Yeah, of course you don't hear the music. I'm sharing the screen only, but not the music. And that's pretty much what we got so far. We need to build and you see there's gonna be a leaderboard, and I think I can share you. That's pretty much it so far. It ends here.
That's awesome,
I
though.
can share it. Yeah, we need to do more adjustments. We need to finish on level design and collision and stuff, energy, health, difficulty. But you see, there's a leaderboard at the end of the level, and I can show you. I can share with you a super secret
Okay.
idea that we are going to do. We're going to read the weekly leaderboard, and we're going to have redeemable VIL prizes for the champion of every week. So you will get a cool redeemable that's going to be probably a t-shirt, a mug, or something like that.
And so how
And
are we getting from running through the subway or overland to the ship to take part in that secondary game there?
there, for now, there's a building, which is a space station that's by entering will take you to the space section, and there are going to be a few different modes. Like there's going to be an infinite runner mode where you just do high score, some sections where you can travel to different planets. So you complete the space section and you end up on a different planet, a different area. And some which are just going to be the classical levels. So yeah, stages and with bosses. So quite a few different modes. Not all of them will be available from start, but what I'm sharing with you is the master plan, the idea.
Yeah.
And that's it. It will be connected to the main game, and it will use some assets from the collection as well, mainly spaceship at first. Later on, we will probably have like upgrades and parts, and you can have different spaceships. And what was I gonna say? And yeah, that's it. It's going to be the first of many mini games, which are all going to be implemented in one way or another in the main game, and all of them will be inspired by classic NES games. Like this one is your classic horizontal space shooter, and the next one is probably, I'm not sure. I mean, so far most of these things I'm sharing with you are just ideas, projects. Nothing, not all of that is built, but we have in mind to do like a racer game and a bike game. Since we made good friends with the Cryptocross collection, among many others, we do some little collaborations with, and probably it's going to be a Cryptocross themed mini game. Again, no promises, no, not sure. Plans might change, but we would love to make a mini game where you can actually ride their NFT bikes into the game or something like that. This
Okay.
doesn't look like Splinterlands.
Yeah,
Good,
we're
good
probably under the wrong
observation.
heading. I don't care.
I'm
Most of the time
Splinter
when I'm streaming,
from
this is what
Ninja
I'm doing.
Turtles, and this is a land. So
I mean that's a pretty strong argument as well. So you're really looking to incorporate like oodles of different modes into Pixtalgia, basically just at different buildings to kind of take off points to a series of different mini games, right?
yeah, that's 100% correct. It's going to take time, of course. We are still trying to finish and make perfect the first game, which is the one I just showed you. But yes, the plans, or at least what I'd love to do, is to make more. based. All are going to be tributes to the classic NES games from various genres. I'm not big fan of sports, so might not have a lot of sports game racings. Maybe, yeah, as I was saying. But yes, we plan to go big on mini games.
And is it going to
That's
be
fun.
kind of all single house type of thing where it's all your projects or kind of close to the chest, or are you? Because I know you've got like tributes to all sorts of other creators, and you love working with a bunch of other people. Are you also going to be having like links within Pixtalgia to other games?
Yeah, the more like to other projects. I mean, we don't really want players to go out of the main game. So I like collaboration with all kind of projects, but we want to keep inside our game, of course. So yeah, we plan to add links for more collections, and like in the case of Crypto Cross, it was just a good match, a collection about bikes. It's just a good fit to a bike racing games. It depends on case to case. This one about the spaceships was it has inside a few collaboration elements. For now, we are thinking about collab with Cosmic Alien. So it's like if you hold some assets, a ship from her lore could come to the rescue, but that's it. This game was pretty much a standalone. So yeah, I think it depends case to case. The Crypto Cross collection was a perfect fit with this idea about the bike racing game. Then it depends. We had not really plans for making games specifically for some collections, but if it's a cool collection made by cool people that we are friends with, that we like, we could do that again. In just if the opportunities comes by, we can do it.
Awesome. I'm definitely looking forward to seeing Pixtalgia grow because it's already fun and it's just enough of a challenge with like
It's a
I
big challenge.
cannot wait for the double jump feature.
Yeah, that's of course. I think of my game as a Metroidvania, and the double jump it's huge, of course, and we'll need quite a few tuning. For now, it's you got this infinite climbing, and I'm not so sure if we are going to keep that because I don't know if you know many Metroidvania games. Like Metroid is the mother of the Metroidvania games, and the key feature is that power ups they allow you to access to different zones, and at some point I'd like to have this feature, and so far the infinite climbing makes it easy to reach everywhere, and while it should be that some NFTs or some power-ups they allow you to reach difficult zones, and the double jump is totally a feature
So double jump is
that
going to be an
helps.
NFT. I fucking love it. I love
Yeah,
it.
I have the I jump boots already. I created them. There aren't many laying around because the feature is not built already, and I distributed some NFTs which aren't already game ready, and I don't want to do it that much anymore because selling NFTs that aren't ready yet is not the best thing in the world.
Right? Yeah, no, I totally understand that, but I want a pair of them boots.
There are boots already. Yeah, there is going to be something like that. 100%. I'm not sure if it's going to be. I mean, the double jump. I think it's coming at some point. It's just a feature that you can do without. It's just so unrealistic, but I mean, those kind of games are not
not
that
exactly
realistic.
realistic.
So
So like, yeah,
I
it's
think we
just
can live
fun,
with
and
that.
that's. I mean, is it necessary? No. Is it awesome? Yes. Rule of awesome wins. Just
I like the rule of awesome.
Uh, so obviously we see the spaceship game is coming next, I assume, since you just showed it to us. When do you think
Yeah,
that's going to
yes.
be going live?
Uh, For Pixtalgia, the wins are always a very difficult thing, but it should be soonish,
Okay.
kinda soon. We already had for our first birthday last 10 days ago. We had it live, and now we closed it because there's more work to do. But yes, I don't think it's too far because now last week we've lost a lot of time on the schedule actually because we had been fighting with some glitches and some issues with the third party engine and the updates that broke quite a few things. So we've lost a whole week. We wasted I mean, it's not wasted because it's always experience and moving forward, but we lost quite some time on the schedule, which is never too strict because we are improvisers by some means. And yeah, we've fallen behind. Our week was wasted, we can say. But now we are back on track. We fixed pretty much everything, and so yeah, we should move forward to fixing these bugs with the quest and inventory system. And after that, it's all about the space game. Actually, we made a change that is going to speed up the process quite a bit, which is I will be able to work on the space game while my developers work on other stuff. And now we can work on two things differently at the same time, which is going to speed up the process quite a bit.
Yeah, that definitely sounds like a serious boon there. Um, but yeah, it's looking like a pretty fun game. I'm very excited to see how this continues to grow. And what of your tokens? Are you going to be doing a an actual like coin with the game, or are you just kind of doing the NFTs and that's it? Like, is there any actual play to earn structure to it, or are you just kind of doing your thing and having fun and disseminating cool NFTs at certain points for certain things?
Okay, I'm opposed to this game is not about play to earn. It's not about return of investment. It mainly aims to be a fun game. So we are building a game with NFT features. And of course, it tests to some extent earning because you earn NFTs mainly from other collections, which we either partner with or we straight up buy with a share of our income that's dedicated to buying back NFTs. So there are going to be some rewards and also some tokenization, but it's not going to be the main focus because I don't really want to. I didn't create a token on purpose because usually it's not very sustainable, and the token at some point it's inevitable. It's going to crash, and the game is going to be forgotten because everyone will think it failed as the token failed. So that was a deliberate choice not to have a token directly tied to the project. But we as a community, as a team, as Wax Italia team, which is me and Aquascape, we have a couple tokens. We have the Aqua token and the Pasta token, which to some extent are the unofficial coins of Pixtalgia. They are not strictly tied to Pixtalgia. They are more tied to Aquascape collection and this project. I am part of the team. I mean, the team is two of us. I mean, I help in running the tokens. I give suggestions and do token stuff. But that's going to be those are going to be supported in Pixtalgia. There, at some point, we might use them for small payments, both give and take. So we technically have some tokens, and we can give token rewards and also accept token fees, but it's not 100% connected to the game. So this is kind of a way out, because I didn't want an official Pixtalgia token that at some point will inevitably crash, and
That makes a
there's
lot of
not
sense.
there's not really an economy in the game. It's NFT rewards for quests, but the game hasn't got a real economy like you would have in an investment game. So this is not an investment. This is a game where you can play with 3 wax, or you can spend more. And basically, more you spend, at least the initial concept is, if you spend more, you got access to more options, more possibilities. You can choose between more skins, how you look, more weapons, and the space game will need spaceships to be played. You won't be able to play without. But yes, the economics, the tokenomics and economy aspect is not the main focus.
Gotcha. That's probably a smart way to go about it, because I noticed those gold coins that we're picking up, they don't seem to be doing much yet. Is there something that
No,
I'm
they
missing on
not
those?
now, not now. No,
Okay.
no, no, no. For now, most of stuff you see, it's test stuff. So we have the tokens in game. They are not going to be real tokens, real crypto tokens. At some point, you might be able to trade them for NFTs to some quest givers, but they shouldn't be considered as
Yeah,
tokens in other games, like in Alien Wars or such projects.
yeah, that's kind of what I figured. It seemed like they're a little easy to get for an actual coin,
Yeah,
as it
most
were.
stuff is test phase right now.
Have you seen any one particular economy that you really think has done well, or flip side terribly? Like, is there any great lessons that you have picked up on what to do or what to avoid in your gaming journey of Web3?
I think mostly have failed, man. Not really. Not. I wouldn't say that I've seen many successful games with successful and sustainable economy. To be honest, if the bull market keeps raging on, some might for a while. But to be honest, I don't think most games are sustainable.
So, do you think any currently existing game is going to be around in like 10 years within the Web3 space?
10 years. Uh, Might be, but probably they. I'm not sure, man. I'm not that informed, to be honest.
Fair enough. And I mean, it's an opinion question, anyways. I'm not asking you to, actually make a prediction or, state what the future shall be. Um, just kind of seeing, like, from, a game creation perspective, like, have you seen anything that is particularly, like, seems like a good idea that you want to kind of work around? Because also, I'm working on developing the economy, so I'm always looking for ideas. What to do, what not to do. I have my own ideas as well, but nothing is beyond the collection of input phase at the moment on what I'm building. So that's kind of why I'm asking, is coming at it from the. I can always learn from people who have gone before, stand on the shoulders of giants.
That's right, man.
Oh, I'm also really starting to hate this chair.
Yeah, I need to stretch a little. I mean, man, I will need a small break. We can even go on if you want.
My lady is actually home from work today, so I think it was going to be a good time to go ahead and call it. It has been wonderful having you on. Thank you so much. And
Yeah, same here,
if you
man.
want to go ahead, take a few minutes and closing arguments, as it were, whatever you would like to say. I notice a bunch of new names out there, uh, like Luke Nowak and
Sure thing, man.
Aquascape. I
Give
hadn't.
give me give me 1 minute and we can wrap it up. I'm trying. Hold on. Give me 1 minute, really.
Alrighty, well, while he is doing his thing, I want to say thank y'all to the new joiners having some fun with us at Aquascape Art, at Luke Nowak, at Knockzonk. That is definitely an N, not a C. Thank y'all very much for joining us. Uh, I have been Rick. You've been on the mountain. It has been a wonderful time. And if you haven't seen Pixtalgia WAX before, if you haven't played it, go ahead, click that link helpfully dropped by Noxock in the Twitch chat and check it out. It's a super fun little side scroller, old school graphics, just very nostalgic. It is very, very early in development, but it's fun to run around and break things. And I've found a few things that I've been able to break, and Peter is very gracious when you find something, report it to him, let him know what he has to fix, and you get some cool NFTs in response, maybe that you can go ahead and stake and start earning some wax. And I mean, like he said, it's not all about the ROI, but hey, when you got a fun game that you can actually earn something out of, it's not a bad way to be. And hopefully, he will be back shortly. Am I muted? I should not be.
I'm not sure. I'm back, man. I
Welcome
needed
back.
to put that coffee somewhere, unfortunately, but it's all good now.
It's all good. Yeah, go ahead and take a few minutes. Go ahead and let people know where they can find you and whatever else you would like to say. The floor is yours.
Okay, the main website of the game, I think mostly are familiar with, but if not, I'm typing it in chat. And yeah, so this is a project, a small team project, a passion project, which I've been dreaming of making all my life, we can say. It's on Wax. We are going to multi-chain. And yes, we are very community oriented. We like to do partnership and showcase other projects. So that's the main feature of the game. I would say it's the community part, because most of the lore is from other creators on Wax, other collections which we love to collaborate with, and I think this empowers us a lot as well as other creators. It's a if a give and take relationship, you know. I I think I'm good. I mean, I'm not a great artist. I'm not a great developer, but I think I sometimes I got to give a little praise to myself, because I'm kind of good in finding some simple, smart solution which might not be bulletproof, but I mean, it's not all. I think we are empowered by other collections, you know, because sometimes I reach out or others reach out to me, and some of their collection are just perfect for like lately I've been in touch with Graffiti Kings, and I mean they make graffiti art. They just provided me an open folder of all their stuff, and there's a lot of cool art, and they are super happy, and it's like I'm doing them good, but actually they're doing me a great favor, because
That's
now I
great
will
assets
put
to
all
put
the
into your game,
yeah.
and that's great.
It's
Like the
they're
graffiti you
making
have
my
all over the place is awesome. Is that all from Graffiti Kings?
I'm making a few characters, and we will have some quests, but I mean, their stuff is good, man, and it's for me. It's assets that they are going to decorate my game. So I get lore, I get characters, I get stuff to do from players, I get rewards if that's optional. I mean, they don't have to. It's not mandatory for them to provide NFTs, but if they want, they can give me NFTs as prizes for the players,
I will
and
definitely be
we
sending you some
promote
stuff.
each other.
I want to be on a mountain.
We yeah, totally, man. I absolutely want you will be so easy to make because I I work on a super tiny site, and so the characters need to have something that's like long hairs and beard. Perfect, it's easy to do that on a little character. I can't go for face features. I can't go for photorealism.
Yeah,
So I need
obviously.
to
I mean,
be
restrictions of the
in.
medium, but no, I like the art is definitely really cool. I know you're being humble, saying you're not the greatest or anything like that, and there probably is somebody better somewhere. There always is. No,
There are.
there's really no such thing as the best, but you're good. Like you get your point across. You make
Thank you,
fun
man.
and engaging visuals that convey all of the necessary information. So are there potentially technical areas where there could be some improvement? Yeah, there always is, but like
Totally.
don't like get down on yourself or whatnot. You're right. You're really good, and you make a
I
very
think
fun
I'm
world.
good at communicating with little detail. I'll give that. But yeah, of course, when you see stuff like the pixel art of Senior Lupe, or Token Girls, they are professional. I would never make such good stuff. But yeah, I like what I'm doing. I won't put me down, but I know there are I've been drawing pixel art for 1 year,
Oh
so
yeah,
there's a lot of room for
for one
improvement.
year in, you're doing great. I have never even really contemplated doing 8-bit, 16-bit graphics, anything like that. Like I can draw a little bit. I can do some cool things like on the computer with like graphic editing and whatnot. I'm pretty decent with Canva. I've never worked with Photoshop, but I've worked with similar tools and whatnot. I would love to experience Photoshop proper and all of the tools that it has, but
I love Photoshop. Not the greatest. I'm decent. Yeah.
yeah, I've never actually gotten to mess with it, but like Corel and whatnot, a long time ago, um,
Oh,
right?
Corel Draw. Yeah.
Good times with that. Even Paint, like I'm not worthless, but as far as the 8-bit styling and whatnot, like I enjoy it, but I've never even attempted it. So yeah, more
Yeah.
power to
You
you, and yeah, you
just need
definitely
to
do good.
start. I can recommend you Asep Bright, which is a great tool.
Yeah, I'll try and figure out one for me.
Yeah, it's Asep Bright is
Do
I think is one of the best. But
alrighty.
yeah,
Well,
yeah, we can totally have a mountain man.
cool, cool. We'll get one in there and figure out some kind of quest, and definitely send you over some stuff to give away, and uh, to do your giveaways. Oh, actually, okay. Here's a passion of mine that I haven't really noticed whether or not you actually use in there. Is there any form of RNG in Pixtalgia at all?
For the prizes, you mean?
Well, for anything,
Or
like, do you have random number generation at all anywhere in there at all?
mm, I mean, for the prizes, yes, because you get a random prize for from a pool when associated to give different quest givers. So now it's a little broken. It should be fixed the next week, but if you complete an aquascape quest, you get a random NFT from the pool of aquascape prizes. There is also now there's GoPerel, and I think the other quest giver which is implemented currently is a little broken. Is our collection Wax Italia. So I think the only one that's actually right now giving prizes is GoPerel. But there are more characters, and we completed the engine on that. We completed the base infrastructure, so it's not going to take much time to add more. It took a lot of time to build the infrastructure, but now it's going to be a walk in the park to add more characters and support rewards. So yes, the rewards there's RNG. I I don't think there's anything else. I mean, there are.
Now,
No, no, go ahead.
this might be a question for your dev rather than you, but
Yeah.
how does that random number generation happen?
No, I wouldn't say. I wouldn't be able, yes, to answer. I'm not
Okay.
very on the technical side. I do work on the game engine, but it's more like placing stuff around. I do the level design. Basically, I do everything that's not coding, that's not strictly coding. So I do design the levels in the engine, but not really taking part in the coding side. So I wouldn't be able to answer on the. I can tell you that there are going to be. I would like to add some more RPG stuff, RPG like leveling up experience. I know that, and I do love the sense of progression, so we are totally going to add something like that. Oh, and there's a feature which has been a little neglected lately, which is the raffle. That's the we have built, but lately has been neglected in favor of other stuff. But we're going back to that. If you scroll down in the character selection lobby, there's a feature that reads the NFTs you got staked on WaxDAO, and now it's off, but that reads how much stuff you got, and it gives you bigger chances of winning a prize. That prize is usually in-game items. So the more NFTs you get staked on WaxDAO, the more chances you have of winning some in-game items like the one you use for quests. So there's a little reward for having more NFTs staked, and that's
Okay,
a
cool.
feature to give more utility because we have a lot of promo NFTs which aren't in game, like the floppies and the vignettes, and those are collectibles with no utility to some extent, but we are working towards giving more in-game utility to that. And one of those features is the raffle. So if you hold and stake more collectibles, you will get some in-game items later on. And there are also quite a few features on about that. So we plan on giving more utility to the purely collectibles items. NFTs, sorry.
You actually just gave me some ideas I gotta write down real quick for my own.
Yeah, cool.
Alrighty, so let people know where they can find you, and then once we get done and everything, and I get posted, I will go ahead and drop those links in the description as well. And I want to say once again, thank y'all very much for watching and for hanging out with us, and thank you, Peter, for joining us. Very much looking forward to the future of Pixtalgia.
Thank you, man. It's been a super fun talk, and I mean, we could talk about games and gaming, role play, and music and media anytime. When you When you invite me, I will come, man. So
And well, you do have an open invitation. So it's currently 3:22 p.m. I stream starting at midnight every night except for Friday night on my personal stream, and I am pretty much always in my Discord voice chat with an open mic for anyone who wants to join. So if I'm not
uh-huh.
in the Discord, then hop in the chat and say, "Hey, go to your Discord," because sometimes I forget.
This
But
is the time you stream usually. It's midnight for you now.
no, it's 3:23 p.m. So 8.5 hours from now is when I'm normally going live.
My 4 a.m.
Yeah, like with times, I know it's kind of different for
Yeah.
everybody. But yeah, I mean, also, when you've got new announcements and whatnot, reach out and I'll help you get the word out. And anytime you want to talk, or you're more than welcome. I'm always down to
Yeah,
just
I might hop in, man. It's been a nice talk, and I mean, nerd talks, count me in anytime. Nerd talks, I could speak for hours. So this is the main game website, and we are on Twitter as well, and those are the main links. If you need more, I can share. But yeah, it's been really fun, man. I liked it. I think we can talk for hours about games and nerdy stuff.
absolutely. And JT, yes, Pixtalgia does have a lot of bugs. That's because this guy beside me is pretty much the only one working on it. He's got one dev and him, and they're pretty much doing it together. So, and then
Yeah,
Aquascape,
we
who's also in the chat. So, small
it's
project.
expected. Bugs are expected, man. It's normal. We wouldn't be live if it wasn't an alpha. The fact that it's an alpha, we can use testing for the players. The entry. Yeah, yeah, I know you do, and that's appreciated, man. It's actually very helpful. We need game breakers. I mean, Twitch and NFTs is great because back then, the time of the NES, you couldn't see. Now I can see people playing a super early version of my game,
Right.
and I can see them live playing and see what they think about, the reactions they make, and if they like something, if they are frustrated about something, if they can get around something, if they can make something I didn't think about. Also for my developer, this is, and for me, it's great. I mean, they didn't have this back then, they they released the game, and who knows how people are going to play it, who knows what people are going to exploit, love and hate.
Right.
And it's great to be able to watch streamers playing live and be happy about something or hate something, and we can adjust it, we can be inspired. It's amazing. It's an amazing way to work. Of course, the downside is you get bugs because we're doing it live, we are developing it live, so that's normal. We'll try to fix in the limited time we have, but reports help. We have some NFT rewards for those reporting quests, and I mean, it's kind of cheap to play. So I hope people will understand that we are a small team. We aren't super experienced, so have fun with us, and bugs will get fixed at some point. Don't worry, we got you.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's very early in the development. It's a small team. It's a playable and fun game, and yeah, exactly. Report the bugs and then abuse it. There you go. That's
it's
like,
better to have friendly game breakers than not.
yeah, exactly.
So
I
I,
mean,
I I
I found a
appreciate
bug in
GT
my
breaking
first
the
time
game.
playing it. Actually, so when exactly did you actually introduce Pixtalgia? Because I remember being at a Digicon and finding out about it and buying the avatar to play it. Then I think I actually bought like 3 copies by accident, and then I started
Oh
playing.
well, thank you. Good
And
accident.
well, I mean, I meant to buy 2, because I wanted to be able to give one away. And then I think I somehow mistakenly bought a third because I ended up having three, um, which was good. Like, still, I gave one away. I ended up, after a while, I ended up selling one of them. And
No refunds, sorry, no refunds.
no refunds. No, I sold it. And made a little bit of profit there too. So, like, covered my three. Okay, no problem. And but it was like there was nothing. Like, I remember I went down into the subway, I collected a couple of coins, and then like I went down the that first ladder, and I got stuck down there. Like, I couldn't even get back out after I'd gone down all the way because I couldn't get up
Yeah,
to
you
the
had to
ladder.
climb. Yeah,
And
yeah. A lot of stuff is work in progress, man. A lot of stuff needs to be built yet.
oh
There's a
yeah,
lot.
no, I'm just
It's
saying,
very
like,
incomplete.
I got in, and because I didn't realize that it was so early on in the life of that project, that after that first experience, I just kind of, let it be for a little while. I kept it bookmarked, and I kept the NFTs, but I just kind of forgot about it for a little while until I started talking to Kevin and midgets. Um, and we, like, actually, it was midgets that night that I reported that bug. Like, that was the first time I pulled it up in months. Um, so
Yeah, if
like,
you came back after a while, there should be new
yeah, it was
content, of
huge
course.
difference, just worlds. Like, now it's really a fun and enjoyable game. Beforehand, it was like it was a cool skeleton, but there really wasn't much anything to do. Now there actually
Yeah,
is. You can run
you
around,
know
collect stuff,
the
and
thing is that sometimes I can't work on the project if the developer is doing stuff, you know.
yeah,
We are trying to fix this issue so I will be able to add more content on the run, you know, and that should speed up the process quite a lot. Sometimes I can do stuff for weeks, you know, and then I got only a couple days to add content because otherwise I will stop the development. So that's an issue we've been having, and hopefully now that we can split the project in different builds and I can work on something while he builds on other stuff, that should help quite a bit.
yeah, that's definitely a step in the right direction as far as productivity goes. And yeah, again, like, I'm not trying to, kind of poo poo or naysay on the game back then. What I'm wondering is, like, how early was that after, like, you came out, like, by buying in that day at that digicon, like, obviously I
No,
don't want
no,
to know.
I understand completely the feeling, and I was well aware that we were releasing something very early, but we never did launch. As soon as we did the wallet login, the game was live, man. We've never been thinking about waiting for it. We do it live.
Yeah. I know what
So
I'm asking, like, is that was that the reveal, like, or did you guys, were you already, like, open before that? How many digicons have you done, and, like, where was that at? I'm wondering selfishly if I'm like one of your first 10 users or something like that, even though I set it aside for a while.
it could even, yeah, probably you might be,
That would
there.
be cool as hell.
I think our first Digicon was Digicon 9. If I think yes, Digicon 9, or maybe even no, I think 9. Uh, we went live as soon as we finished the wallet login part, and now I mean, maybe it wasn't that wise, but we, as soon as we were able to be live, we went live, and the content was totally lacking. I'm aware that some maybe have experienced the game back then and they legitimately thought this is bad, and I understand, but I don't have really a big commercial strategy, you know. Of
Yeah.
course, we need to make money because the devs, even if they love the project, they get family, they get work, they can't really work for free because it's very time consuming. So the life of the project is also depending on sales at some point. But we probably we didn't really think about the best marketing strategy. We want to be live. We went live and we're developing as I don't really remember the day we went live, to be honest. It should have been, I think, last summer, more or less. I think I would say last summer, yeah. As soon as we were ready, we went live, and I did the areas in a couple days, I guess. Not much more, but I plan to rework everything from the ground, and in time I will work on different sections and rework them after testing. So yeah, it's a live project. Totally 100% the definition of we're doing it live, man.
Right.
I got plans, I got sketches, I got ideas for years of content, but going to build it live,
And what
build to
is
build.
kind of the origin story of this world of Wextalia, of Pixtalia?
The lore is very light because it needs to accommodate every kind of project. There shouldn't be any project that's out of place, so there's no story in the proper meaning. It's wax wheel. It's an imaginary world, and it's light-hearted, and there's humor. So you don't have really a story, but we have a villain. We have a villain that's an unminted creature. I made a couple minting mistakes, and so there's an adventurer which couldn't be minted, and he got twisted and became evil and started hating on me. And this mission is to destroy me and the world of Pixtalgia. So we have our Ganon, we have our warrior,
I love it.
but mainly there's not a proper backstory. It needs to be flexible. It needs to have all kind of creatures and characters and not feel out of place. Yeah, so it's out of time, out of story. The lore mainly is the community lore.
Gotcha.
So
So it's not so
there's
much that
nothing
you
like
you've actually like fleshed out this world already, and you are now building it into a game. You are building the world of the game as you build the game.
exactly, man. That's doing it live and expanding, and improving in time.
Hell yeah.
So that's pretty much it. It's a platformer. It's this wax inspired, blockchain lore inspired game, and there's not a. I mean, the story from next game was usually 5 lines. We don't even have those 5 lines. It's just the world of Waxville and something evil lurking that is going to come, and wars to explore. You can go. We made a collaboration with Alien Wars, so we are going to build the alien planets, and they are going to try to be as faithful as possible to their lore. So we can take the lore from other project, other creators, and try to incorporate all of that in this big project. That's pretty much it.
Alrighty, well that sounds like a magnificent way to go about things because you don't so much have to worry about getting lost with all of the things that are in your head and trying to make them all fit with one another, especially when you lost access to everything you had written down years ago. Um, so, uh,
Are you speaking of personal experiences?
oh yeah, no, not at all. I don't know anything about losing all of my notes over decades about this planet in a storage unit that I'll never have access to again because it's in my ex-wife's name. I don't know anything about that at all.
I'm sure you don't. I'm
Uh,
sure you don't.
Luckily, I do have a few of my notebooks that like I had handy. So like I actually have a drawn out timeline that goes from 350,000 years BCE to 10 million BCE. So I still have that, and I still have a lot of the stuff that I was actively working on with my best friend, and I still have my memory and my best friend's memory. Um, and that's why I'm able to do a lot of the things and start really pushing forward.
You
Um,
sound like someone who would love Dwarf Fortress, right?
he actually loves Dwarf Fortress, not playing it incidentally, but watching Dwarf Fortress on YouTube. Um,
Yeah, that's a good. That makes a lot of cool stories.
yeah, yeah, it does. And I enjoy him enjoying Dwarf Fortress. I don't think I would actually get into it myself,
It's
but
complicated.
like when he
I
brings it to
no,
me,
I'm
I'm
not.
like, oh fuck yeah, I'm here for this. This is yeah, let's do it. A lot of stuff like that. He gets into a lot of games like watching them, not even playing them, but just and I've never understood that, but I enjoy it for him and I enjoy it with him, and but he's also like he went to school for geology and whatnot. So, like the fact that my planet is a cube, he has been absolutely instrumental in. Okay, well, obviously we have to write some of this off as because magic. But we can do better than because magic. We can be specific about how and why and what and when magic. And then because he, has that good scientific understanding of land formations and whatnot, like he's really helped me to make the world as real as possible for it being this fantastic creation. Like weather works pretty much how you would expect it to, only there are big differences because of this. And then water, even water is so insanely complicated. I like you're never going to notice all of this crap within game. But as the world builder trying to figure out how, oh my god, water is the biggest pain in the ass
I
cuz
want
like
to know more about your universe, man. You need to share stuff where I can find it.
oh yeah, well that's what I'm saying. Like the closed door in the Mountain Tavern, that is where all of this stuff is happening, and you have an invite. So I will
Yeah.
put your name on the list to get into the back office with the dimly lit table.
And I mean, I have a quite a lot open collaboration, but that sounds like something we might even make the planet, at some point, if you like. I mean, and, I
Yeah,
don't know
no,
if
I'm
you
I'm
will be.
absolutely looking to get there. I'm starting out with these 5 little dungeon crawlers just because I feel like that's going to make a kind of simple um, entryway, as it were. Like, I'm not gonna go for grand scale trying to build a sandbox MMO out of my planet as my entry into game design. So we're starting out with something simple, but still a good project that's going to both relate to and have effects on the grander project as a whole.
I'd like to build some sections. It's like we're doing with Aik from Alien Wars. It wouldn't. I know. I'm sure it's something so personal for you, and and you probably feel it's like your son. So I don't know if you will be up to make something with it in our game, but I think it would be funny to add something. Maybe even make it accessible some areas, just a couple areas or something like that. It could be done potentially in time, with
Yeah, I'm
enough time. So
definitely
if,
interested in having some crossover between our projects.
yeah,
When the time comes. Right now, I don't have nothing to cross over with. It's
yeah,
very
my,
very early stages, still writing shit down and planning shit out and figuring out how things are gonna work. But
yeah, we'll
I'm
talk, man.
really
We'll talk.
enjoying where this is going, and yeah, we're
We'll talk, man. We'll talk.
absolutely. And for those of y'all who are in the chat, once again, thank you so much for joining. I definitely need to go and get rid of a pot of coffee, so I'm going to go ahead and call it here. Thank you once again, Peter, for joining us. And again,
Thank you so
if
much for having me.
anyone has not checked out Pixtalgia, check it out. It's super fun, and it's only growing and getting even better. So, as always, I have been Rick. You have been on the mountain. This has been Peter. This has been Peter, and it has been a wonderful time. And we will catch y'all on the flip side.